Different date, same fate. I'ma knock out Jake Paul.
What's that?
You're an appetizer, brother. You're an appetizer. You're a Mike appetizer. Did you move to Florida after private school? Is that when you became a Florida?
Yeah, the news is true, folks. I, Jake Paul, will be fighting Mike Perry.
I mean, he's doing good for what he's doing. You know, like I said, for what he's doing. I mean, it is what it is. It's just a lot of talk. But once you get in there with a real fighter that can really fight.
Welcome back to Quick Rundowns. Today we're diving into some explosive boxing news. Mike Tyson has just crumbled Jake Paul after releasing new fight rules. What started as a shocking fight cancellation has now turned into a full-blown war. Don't miss out on the drama, and make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for all the latest updates.
Different date, same fate. I'ma knock out Jake Paul.
Different date, same fate. Mike Tyson has laid down the gauntlet for Jake Paul with some brutal new fight rules after Jake tried to back out of their scheduled fight. Let's break down the drama, the intense new conditions Tyson has set, and reactions from the boxing community and beyond. The cancellation.
Obviously, devastating news. I'm heartbroken, speechless, gutted. We've been working so hard over here, everyone in this camp, and I just feel bad for everyone involved in this.
It all started on July 5th, 2024, when Jake Paul threw the boxing world into chaos by announcing the cancellation of his fight with Mike Tyson. In a video on his YouTube channel, Jake claimed he was concerned about Tyson's health, citing medical advice and saying that at nearly 60 years old, Tyson might not be in fighting shape. Jake's announcement was met with shock and disappointment. He tried to smooth things over by urging fans to forget about the fight and focus on the future. However, the damage was done and the backlash was immediate. Promoters, sponsors, and fans were left frustrated and confused. The twist.
Yeah, the news is true, folks. I, Jake Paul, will be fighting Mike Perry, Tampa, Florida.
In a surprising twist, Jake Paul announced a new opponent, Mike Perry. The fight was set for July 20th, 2024, and Jake claimed that Perry, a former UFC fighter, was a great competitor. The news left fans both curious and skeptical, while the shadow of the canceled Tyson fight loomed large. Mike Tyson's response. But the person who reacted most explosively was Iron Mike himself. Tyson, who had been preparing rigorously for the fight, was furious. He slapped Jake Paul with a $350 million lawsuit, citing the massive financial fallout from the cancellation. This amount covered everything from sponsorship deals and advertising to venue bookings and TV rights. Tyson's ultimatum. Mike Tyson wasn't about to let Jake off the hook easily. He issued an ultimatum. If Jake wanted the fight to go ahead, it would be on Tyson's terms, and those terms were brutal.
Fight.
Yeah, the biggest ever.
Ever. It's on pace to be the biggest fight ever.
Yes, and we're involved.
We're involved, right?
We're involved. All those big shots, all the biggest athletes in the world.
November 28th.
Lit. Hey, we lit here. We lit at the Tyson Ranch.
New fight rules. Extended fight duration. The fight will now be 15 rounds instead of the usual 8. This change tests Jake's stamina and endurance, requiring him to pace himself and strategize more carefully. Reduced rest periods. Rest periods between rounds are cut to 30 seconds instead of the usual 1 minute. This slashes recovery time, making it harder for fighters to catch their breath and regroup. 8-Oz gloves. Fighters will use lighter 8-Oz gloves, which means harder hits and increased risk of injury. This rule forces Jake to refine his technique and brace for Tyson's powerful punches. Knockout only. The fight must end with one fighter knocked out. Points and judges' scorecards are out the window. This rule emphasizes power and finishing ability, pushing Jake to fight aggressively. One round will last a full 3 minutes without any breaks or stoppages. This rule is designed to test the fighter's stamina and resilience to the maximum. Mandatory and random drug testing will be enforced throughout training and pre-fight to ensure the fight is pure and fair. Strict penalties for excessive holding or clinching during the fight. This rule ensures continuous action and engagement, preventing fighters from using clinching as a tactic to buy time. The boxing world exploded with reactions to Tyson's new fight rules. Joe Rogan, known for his insightful and often hilarious commentary, couldn't resist weighing in. Oh man, Jake Paul is in for a real treat now. Tyson's not messing around. This is going to be a war, not a fight. Rogan laughed, adding, Jake must be mistaken if he thinks he can handle Tyson's power. Even at nearly 60, Tyson's punches are like freight trains. This isn't a YouTube boxing match, this is the real deal. Furious fighters chimed in as well. Former heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis remarked, these rules are brutal, but that's what you get when you mess with Tyson. Jake better be ready to fight for his life. UFC star Conor McGregor couldn't resist poking fun at Jake either. Jake Paul thought he could outsmart Tyson? Hilarious. Good luck, mate, you'll need it. Let's be real here. Jake Paul, ever the master of timing and PR, thought he could cancel a fight with Mike Tyson and get away with it. Yeah, because dodging a 58-year-old Tyson would definitely make Jake look like a hero. And when that backfired spectacularly, he switched to fighting Mike Perry. A bold move, right? Because clearly swapping an iconic fight for one with a different Mike will smooth everything over. Financial fallout. The financial impact of Jake's decision was catastrophic. Companies like Monster Energy and DraftKings had invested millions into advertising and promoting the Tyson fight. When Jake pulled the plug, all those investments went up in smoke. TV spots, online ads, and billboards all worthless now. The venue bookings alone were a logistical nightmare. Broadcasters who secured exclusive rights and small-time investors hoping to cash in were left reeling from the sudden change. Jake's decision didn't just affect the fight, it sent shockwaves through the entire boxing industry. The $350 million fine? And let's not forget the $350 million lawsuit. Critics argue it's excessive, but let's be honest, the financial fallout justified every penny. Jake tried to play the charmer rogue, claiming it was all a mix-up, but no one's buying it, especially not Iron Mike.
There with a real fighter that can really fight, it's gonna be over.
Floyd Mayweather just hilariously clowned Jake Paul for canceling his fight with Mike Tyson. And let me tell you, he didn't just drop a couple of lines and call it a day. Floyd went all in and spilled some of Jake's dirty little secrets that he's been hiding for the past 2 years. In the boxing world, even the tiniest slip up can come back to bite you. And that's exactly what happened to Jake. It's like finding an old receipt that suddenly ruins your day. Poor Jake, he never saw it coming. But let's not forget Jake started this whole mess himself by canceling his fight with Mike Tyson. He set off a hurricane of chaos in the boxing world. The guy was obsessed with getting in the ring with Tyson, and then out of nowhere he hit the brakes, leaving everyone in shock and confusion. This decision has ignited a whirlwind of speculation. Why on earth would Jake back out of such a high-profile match? Some insiders are whispering that maybe Jake's losing interest in fighting Tyson altogether. Maybe the thrill of taking on Iron Mike has lost its shine, and now Jake's got his sights set on a different target. And who's this new target? None other than Mike Perry. Yep, Jake Paul is now eyeing a match with the MMA fighter. The news is true, folks. Jake Paul will be fighting Mike Perry in Tampa, Florida. This sudden pivot has raised a lot of eyebrows and even more questions. Choosing to fight Perry instead of Tyson seems like a massive downgrade, and it's making everyone question Jake's true motives. Some people are saying he's just in it for the fame and clout, milking the Tyson fight hype for all it's worth, and now looking for an easier, safer route to keep his name in the headlines. He's a lot of talk. Once he gets in there with a real fighter that can really fight, it's going to be over. Yeah, the news is true, folks. Jake Paul will be fighting Mike Perry in Tampa, Florida. Jake's move to challenge Perry instead of Tyson is like trading a grand slam for a bunt. Perry, while a respected fighter, doesn't have the legendary status of Tyson. This sudden switch has also sparked debates about Jake's credibility. Is he serious about his boxing career, or is he just cherry-picking opponents to avoid serious damage while staying in the spotlight? What's that? You're an appetizer, brother. You're an appetizer. You're a Mike appetizer. Mike Tyson isn't known for taking things lying down. The boxing legend has his own plans and expectations, and Jake backing out doesn't just affect his fight schedule, it hits his pride. Tyson's response to this sudden cancellation is highly anticipated, and everyone's waiting to see if he'll call out Jake for what many see as a cowardly move. As long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's going to continue to look good, but once he fights a real fighter, it's not going to be that good. And as we know, Jake Paul is no stranger to controversy, but lately things have taken a darker turn. Whispers and rumors have been swirling around, casting long shadows over his meteoric rise in the boxing world. Floyd Mayweather, the seasoned veteran with a keen eye for detail, has reportedly taken it upon himself to dig deep into Jake's boxing career. Mayweather's findings are said to be shocking, painting a picture of manipulation and deceit that no one saw coming. Jake's rise in the boxing world was meteoric, almost too good to be true. From knocking out Aina Songib in January 2020 to defeating former NBA player Nate Robinson in November 2020, and then moving on to take down MMA fighters like Ben Askren in April 2021 and Tyron Woodley in August and December of 2021, Jake seemed unstoppable. But now these victories are being scrutinized, with many wondering if they were as legitimate as they seemed. Jake Paul's bout with Nate Robinson on November 28, 2020 was a spectacle watched by millions. Jake knocked out Robinson in the second round, a victory that seemed to solidify his status as a legitimate boxer. However, Floyd's allegations cast a dark shadow over that triumph. Mayweather suggested that Jake had bribed the referees to secure his win. The fight with Nate Diaz, although not yet realized in the ring, has been a topic of heated discussion. Nate Diaz, known for his gritty fighting style and resilience, is not someone who backs down easily. When rumors of Jake's alleged rigging surfaced, Diaz was quick to respond. He called for a rematch, demanding that this time it be fair and free from any shady dealings. Get a rematch, and he aren't. Diaz's challenge added fuel to an already blazing fire, stirring further controversy and making fans question whether Jake could stand toe-to-toe with a fighter of Diaz's caliber without any underhanded tactics. Floyd's bombshell didn't stop at just accusations of rigging. He delved deeper, suggesting that Jake's entire career might be built on a foundation of deceit. The integrity of his wins against not just Robinson, but also other fighters would be called into question. Mayweather's claims aren't just personal attacks, they're indictments of Jake's legitimacy as a boxer. Nate Diaz's call for a rematch is a direct challenge to Jake's honor and skill. Diaz, never one to mince words, has made it clear clear that he wants a clean fight, one that proves Jake's worth as a boxer. This demand for a rematch isn't just about settling a score, it's about restoring integrity to the sport. If Jake agrees to face Diaz again under fair conditions, it could be a defining moment in his career. But if he refuses or tries to evade the challenge, it would only deepen the suspicion surrounding his previous wins. He's a lot of talk. Once he gets in there with a real fighter that can really fight, it's going to be over. The stakes are incredibly high. Jake Paul's reputation, which he has meticulously built through a combination of social media prowess and boxing victories, is hanging by a thread. The world is watching his every move, waiting to see how he responds to Mayweather's explosive claims. And do you think after such cruel allegations and the rumors that Jake might cancel the fight with Mike Tyson, Tyson would sit quietly? No way. That's not Tyson's style. Furious over Jake Paul's sudden cancellation of their highly anticipated fight, Tyson didn't just express disappointment, he issued a stern ultimatum that's shaking the very foundations of the sport. On June 15th, 2024, Tyson dropped a bombshell of his own, threatening to impose a staggering $350 million fine on Jake Paul for backing out of the fight. This isn't just a slap on the wrist, it's a financial sledgehammer designed to make Jake rethink his actions. The amount is jaw-dropping, especially when you consider Jake's net worth, which Forbes recently estimated to be between $8 million and $17 million. Paying such a fine would be impossible for Jake without liquidating nearly everything he owns, from his luxury cars to his high-end real estate. The $350 million figure wasn't pulled out of thin air. It's a calculated move to either force Jake back into the ring or financially cripple him. For Tyson, this isn't just a personal vendetta, it's about sending a message to the entire boxing community that such behavior won't be tolerated, especially from someone who's relatively new to the sport. The ultimatum also comes with a choice, though neither option is particularly appealing for Jake. Tyson has given Jake two options: pay the fine or step back into the ring under new, more challenging conditions. These conditions aren't just minor tweaks, they're game changers designed to push Jake to his limits. Tyson has proposed extending the fight from the originally agreed upon 8 rounds to a grueling 12 rounds. This is a significant increase, adding an extra layer of physical and mental strain. Additionally, Tyson has introduced multiple knockout rules. This means that instead of a single knockout determining the fight's outcome, Jake would have to face the possibility of being knocked down multiple times before the match could be called. It's a brutal stipulation, one that could easily tip the scales in Tyson's favor given his experience in knockout power. For Jake, agreeing to these terms would mean preparing for one of the toughest fights of his career, a far cry from the relatively safer path he might have hoped for. Jake's response to this ultimatum is highly anticipated. Will he take the financial hit and try to move on, or will he rise to the challenge and face Tyson under these new daunting conditions? The stakes couldn't be higher, and the pressure is mounting for Jake. It's a lose-lose situation with both options carrying significant risks and challenges. Known for his no-nonsense approach and unyielding determination, Tyson's strategy is a testament to his enduring influence in the boxing world. He's not just a retired champion looking to stay relevant, he's an active force shaping the narrative and demanding accountability from those who step into the ring with him. As the deadline for Jake's decision looms, the tension is palpable. Tyson's ultimatum has turned a simple fight cancellation into a high-stakes drama, capturing the attention of not just boxing enthusiasts but the general public as well. The outcome will undoubtedly have a lasting impact on Jake's career and on how future fight agreements are handled in the sport. I'm ready for the challenge. I'll fight Mike Perry in Tampa, Florida. Now tell me, what do you think is the best option for Jake to accept? Honestly, I think he should go for the fight because now he has to prove how much manly power he truly has. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, and subscribe for more updates on this explosive story. Catch you in the next one.